Okay, in this video we will cover a couple of examples. In this example we are asked to find out, well, your grandfather gave you 100 Ford Motor Inc. stocks at $60 per share. You want to sell these stocks when it reaches $120. If the stock market is expected to increase 20% per year, how many years will it take before you decide to sell the stocks? So basically, we are trying to find N. We have future worth, which is $120. You don't have to do 100 times 120. Just do one stock. So $120, P is equal to $60. And we also get I, which is 20%. F is equal to P times F given P, I, N. So we want to know how many years it will take. So F is equal to 120. 60 is the present and present value. And our interest rate is 20%. Now, using factor notation, it's not the best way to solve for number of years. So in this case, what we have to do is we have to find out, we have to use the equation 1 plus I to the power of n. And what that does is we divide 60 from both sides, so we're left with 2 is equal to 1 plus 0.2 to the power of n, and we take log of both sides, so log 2 is equal to log, or n log of 1.2 when you add them together. Now what we do is n is equal to log 2 divided by log 1.2, and that gives us a value of 3.8 years. If you want to round it off, you can say 4 years. So that's how we find n. And in the next example, so that's how we do this question. We don't always have to do a factor notation method. We can simply use our equation and find the n. In this example, suppose you invest into a business for $5,000. The business makes $5,000 within the first year, and you decide to sell it. Your return on your investment, ROI, is 100%. If it took 5 years to make a profit of $5,000, what would your annual rate of return of your investment be? So we invested $5,000 into a business and it made $5,000 profit. So return on investment in 1 year is 100% because we made $5,000 in profit. So investment over profit is return on investment. So what we have is, what is our annual rate of return if it took 5 years rather than 1 year to make $5,000 profit? So what is I? So what is our annual rate of return if it takes 5 years to make $5,000 profit? So we invest $5,000 right now, which is our present, and in 5 years we make $10,000. Our future is equal to $10,000. Why is it 10,000? Because we invested 5,000 and so that's our cost, you can say. So our revenue is equal to profits plus cost. So in 5 years our revenue is $10,000. Okay, so because it's 10K and our profit is 5K, our investment, which is our cost, is also another 5K. Therefore, our future worth is $10,000 in 5 years. Present is $5,000. What is I? So in this case, we have to do a type of calculation called interpolation to find I, and we'll see why. So we are trying to find I. So let's use F. We could use either formula, F or P. So F is equal to P times F given P, I, comma, 5. We are trying to find I. We're given, and we have N, which is 5. F is equal to 20,000 or 10,000. P is equal to 5,000. And F given P. Now this is a factor notation. We need to find a factor. What we have to do is divide 5,000 so from both sides. So 10,000 divided by 5,000 gives us 2 is equal to F comma I comma 5. Now we need to find an I in the first column because we're trying to find F given P, I 5. So is there an I value with 5 period that's close to 2? Well, 5 period F given P at 10% is 1.611. That's not enough, so we need to move to a higher percentage. And 5 periods at 12%, 1.762. 5 periods, 12%, 1.762. No, we need to get to 2 right here. 15%, 5 period, 2.011. Now that's not exactly 2. We need to find 2, right? So in order to find 2, we take this value, which is 2.011. So 2.011 is equal to F given P, I 5, 15%. F given P, 15%, 5 periods. And what we do is F given P for the previous one, F given P N is 5. So number of periods is 5. F given P is 1.762 for 12%. So 1.762 for 12%. At 5 years. And what we have is 1.762, which is a number below 2 and a number above 2. So we have two values and we have two percentage, 12 and 15. 12, 15, 1.762 and 2.011. Using these 4 points, 4 pieces of information, we can now basically interpolate our answer and find exactly what rate. So what rate will give us a value of 2. And the way we do this, on the Wikipedia page of linear interpolation, so this would be one of our points and this would be our other point, and we are trying to find something in the middle. At what interest rate is the y value equal to 2? So just to make it a bit more clear, draw a line, you can say. This is the lower end, so the left hand side, the lower end of the left hand side, 1.762 is our y naught, 1.762, and our x naught is equal to 12%. And in the middle we have x, which is what we are trying to find, and our value, which is 2, our y value. And on the upper end of the spectrum we have x1, which is 15%, x is the percent, and y is 2.011. Now we apply our formula. Y minus y naught over x minus x naught is equal to y1 minus y naught over x1 minus x naught. And if we plug in all our values, what we get is y is 2 minus y naught, which is 1.762, divided by x, we don't know, we're trying to find out x, minus x naught, which is 12%, and we equal it to y1 minus y naught. y1 is 2.011 minus y naught, which is 1.762, divided by x1 minus x naught, which is 15 minus 12. Once we get that, we can figure out our x. So basically it would be, if we take this equation, we have 3 times 2 minus 1.762 divided by 2.011 minus 1.762 plus 12 is equal to x. So what I did was I took this and I cross multiplied. So x minus 12 would be here, and I brought the 12 to the other side. And before I did that, I took the numerator and I multiplied it by 3. 15 minus 12 is 3. So this gives us an x value, which is our I, equal to 14.867%. So the question is asking, if it took 5 years to make a profit of $5,000, what would your annual rate of return of your investment be? So because in 1 year the the return on investment is $5,000, 5,000 over 5,000 gives you 100% return on investment. But if it took 5 years to make a profit of $5,000, your return on investment per year is basically 14.867% rather than 100%. So that's how you use interpolation to find your interest rate at any point. And this is basically a very good method to know because you will repeatedly use this.